Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Leanne. I'm a Pilates and yoga teacher, online coach and personal trainer. Today I'm going to be taking you through some back strength and mobility and flexibility exercises and strengthening for the upper back to help with posture and rounded shoulders. I'm going to be getting into some deep hip openers, so we'll need to warm up the lower body, the pelvic area to get into these to improve mobility and quality of life. And if you enjoy this video and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe to this channel. Let's get started on the mat. Let's get warmed up. I'm going to start in a cat-cow position. Spine to ceiling, exhale. Inhale in the cat. Checking in with our bodies, seeing how it feels today. This Pilates session is going to be good for rounded shoulders as well and correcting posture. Good. Starting with donkey kicks. We've not done these in a little while. In case you're feeling it on your wrist, feel free to move further over. And donkey kicks, heel to ceiling. Squeezing, pause at the top for a squeeze of the bum cheek. And you might feel in your hamstrings as well, if you are using those, as the leg is bent. Looking for 15. As high as you can, coming down with control. 5, 4. 2 more. Good, staying up and bringing in a little pulse for 10 with the bums being squeezed for the pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and release. Over to the other side, starting with donkey kick. Let's see how you get on at this side. So you're forcing a cat-cow movement in the pelvis. Cores engaged so you don't bend too much in the back. Deep breaths. Feeling that warmth in the right bum cheek, whichever bum is coming further away, being used. 3, 2, 1, and hold for 10 pulses. 3, 6, 9, 10. Good. Into child's pose, knees together, stretching out for glutes. Feeling that tension melt away. Back into the same position, the box, with your palms a little bit further away from your shoulders. Into fire hydrants, so feet together, bringing the knee up as high as you can. Core engaged for 15. 7. Pause at the top for a squeeze. Good. Do 1 more. When you finish the last one, big circles, 10 big circles, clockwise or anti-clockwise, whatever's more comfortable for you. As high as you can. Another 5, 4, making sure you're not leaning all on that one leg. 2 more, good bend in the knee. Good. Deep breaths. Over to the other side. 15. Fire hydrants. Let's see how this side feels. You might feel this on the stabilizing leg, as that is fatigued. That's normal. Just having to work extra hard. 10. Another 5. 1 more. Good. Big circles. 10. 6. Get right in there in the inner thigh. 7, last 2. Good, nice and wide. Child's pose, feet together to get in to the groin area. Circling off the wrists, giving them a little bit of a break. And warming up the wrist joint. A little bit now, nice and warm in the inner thigh. A little bit wider with the knees if you can. And coming back down. Feeling that intense, more intense stretch in the inner groin. Deep breaths to relax the nervous system. So you're able to find space. Maybe bring in a little bit of movement left and right in the hips. Notice how that feels. Good, well done. Feel free to grab a drink. So now we've warmed up the hip area. It's as safe as it ever will be to work on mobility and flexibility in the lower body. Help and improve quality of life. Coming into a down dog. You can paddle those heels out. Good bend in the knee. Saves the back. Relaxing the neck. Untucking the pelvis, so shooting your hips up to the sky. Notice where any tightness is and how this feels. Left leg comes up and back into 3-legged dog. And then left leg meets left hand into dragon. Deep breaths. So you can feel free to use a block for any of this or any of these next stretches. Breathe. We're just settling in. Keep straightening that back leg for more of a hip flexor stretch. The more straight that leg is at the back, the deeper you're going to get into this dragon, okay? From here, the left hand comes up and over to dragonfly, using the back of the shoulder to keep it upright, opening the chest. Deep breath, one more. Returning back to dragon. And come in and out of this if you need to. Totally up to you. So I'm going to come onto the ridge of the foot, pushing the knee away. I'm just going to bring, so we're opening this part a little bit more now. I'm just going to bring in a bit of movement left and right, moving the hips side to side. Looking for space, keep that deep breath. Notice where you feel. Can you move further down? Straighten that back leg a little bit more if you can. And if you want to come onto your elbows, feel free. It's a nice stretch in your back. If you're not there yet, you can use a block. Deep breaths. 3 deep breaths in this position if you can. Coming in and out. My body today doesn't want to come onto elbows, so I'm going to listen to it on this side. A bit tighter for whatever reason. I was running yesterday, maybe that's what it is. I've just felt a little bit of give in the back leg there, so I'm going to try and move down to elbows. There we go. Deep breath. One more. Excellent. Next, we're going to shimmy our foot over to the front and come into half split. So toes point to ceiling, hips back for a stretch in the hamstrings. These get very tight for everybody in daily life. So think of waves. So inhale pushes you out, exhale deeper down, but you're leading with your hip, not your back. Okay, your back stays nice and neutral. Inhale out, exhale sink like a wave. Good, as straight as you can with that leg. Hips faced forwards like cars, headlights on a car. One more deep breath. Good, and then we're going to shimmy over to pigeon. So tiptoe over into pigeon position for the glutes. And the final hip opener on this side. Settle in the middle of your mat. Breathe. Make sure you're breathing deeply, and this relaxes you and your muscles and your mind. Notice where you feel this. Pinpoint the areas so you can compare to the other side. And then when you start to improve, you'll notice the feelings of the stretch change. It's more smooth. One more big deep breath. Good. Taking your time, coming into down dog, paddling them heels out, hips up to sky. Notice how stretched that side of the body feels. One more deep breath. Good. Right leg up and back into three-legged dog. Joining the right hand. Settle in. So every side is different. You might have more mobility on this side or less. The more you deep breath, the more you're able to settle in. Just waiting for our mind, our body to catch up. Bringing in a little movement, rocking side to side, if that feels good. Again, remember you can come in and out of this as much as you need to. Keep straightening as much as you can that back leg. Into dragonfly. Up and over with the right arm as far back as you can. Big stretch, hip, chest opener. Good. Onto the ridge of the foot, pushing the knee out, creating more space. Bringing in that left and right rock. Straightening that back leg a little bit more. It's almost time maybe to come onto your elbows. As you feel that give, deep breaths. Breathing out like you're steaming a mirror. If you can come onto your elbows, feel free. One more big deep breath. Well done. Into half splits. Take your time, bending more at the back leg. Sending your hips back, toes to the sky for the hamstring stretch. So you'll notice if you push your hips back more, you get a high hamstring stretch, which does wonder for back pain. You can increase the intensity by pushing your hips back more or less. And then remember the waves, inhale out, exhale, sink in. Again. One more. Good. Making your way into a pigeon on this side. Deep breaths again. You're fogging the mirror. Switching your glutes off. Trying to sit in the middle of the pigeon pose. Where do you feel the stretch on this side? I feel it completely different. Before it was on my outer hip, this is hamstring and glute area. One more big deep breath. Excellent. Joining me back into the down dog. Now noticing how loose you feel. Perhaps you feel more space in and around the joints. Maybe moving your hips side to side in downward dog. Relaxing your neck, untucking that pelvis for the high hamstring stretch. Good. Feel free to grab a drink. So those are the hip openers, increasing flexibility. Well done for giving those a try. They are really intense, but they're also really worth it. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to make our way over to the prone position. So to fix rounded shoulders, so with mum posture, breastfeeding, carrying, we can get into bad habits of bringing the shoulders forward. We can also get tight in our pectorals and our shoulders, so we need to even it out, which is external rotations, openings of the chest, and working with like the back muscles to pull the shoulder blades. So when we're doing the next exercises, I want you to think about using the shoulder blades, because you can do them all without incorporating the shoulder blades, but we're actively switching them on, making effort to. So I want to start with dorsal raises, shoulder blades. So both shoulder blades are squeezing that P on the spine and coming up as high as you can. Exhale, coming down. Looking for high reps, or as many as you can. As always, if you've not done this one before, because it's quite isolating to the back muscles, maybe leave some in the tank and see how you feel tomorrow. Notice where you're feeling the warmth and where you're struggling in the back, because these are your weaknesses. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Another 5, 4, 2, 1. Excellent. Stay here and do the same again, or to add more weight and more challenge to the back of the shoulder and upper back, good for posture. Arms out to the side, squeezing the shoulder blades right back, like you're trying to touch hands with yourself, trying to hold hands even. These are harder, so we're looking for 10. Pushing your shoulders down away from your ears. 3, 2, 1. Good. Last progression. Floor angels. So hands not touching the floor for 6. Big circles, and then coming off. Again, think about those shoulder blades. As your arms come behind, just squeeze them together. Two more. Let it burn. Well done. Then, just going to rest for a few seconds in Sphinx position. Deep breath, squeezing the bum cheeks to protect the back and pushing your hips into the ground. Noticing that back bend, that feeling in the base of your back for spinal flexibility. Shoulders down away from ears. One more deep breath. As high up as you can go. And then release. And then hips back first into counter pose, child's pose, knees together, and feel that tension being released in your lower back. This is helping with fluidity and reducing stiffness in movement. And you go back to back like this. Excellent. I'm going to do that once more before moving over to abs. So feel free to start with those dorsal raises again. Elbows to the back of the room, looking for 20. But think about those shoulder blades, squeezing the P in between. If you cannot switch them off as well, keep them back. Maybe don't come all the way down. So you're working a bit of time under tension, you're making it harder. 9, 8, 4, 2. Whew, well done. When you finish your last rep, arms out to the side, looking for 10 reps. One more. Excellent. When you finish your last rep, last part, last 6, floor angels. Really challenging the shoulder girdle here for posture. Whilst it's fatigue, it might feel shaky, that's all good. Another 2, hands off. 1. When you finish your last rep, deep breaths into Sphinx, squeezing the bum cheeks, protecting the lower back, chest proud, shoulders down. How far up off the floor? Can you get your belly button, your navel off the floor? Bringing your head back as far as you can. Stretching the front of your neck. So that was strengthening for the neck as well and the back. Then we're going to melt that tension away in child's pose, hips back. Deep breaths. Good, well done. Making your way over on the back for core work next and breath work to help relaxation and managing stress. Deep breaths. I'm going to start with our legs up in tabletop, straightening the legs as straight as you can get them. I'm going to try and get your hips off the floor, curving up and down in the lower back, 1 vertebrae at a time, looking for 15. 3. 8. 9. When you finish your last rep, hands behind head, coming in for a squeeze, lifting your hips off the floor again. Pause for a second for 10. You're coming into a ball, exhale, 3. 10. Go. When you finish your last one, inhale, arms rise. Filling the lungs completely before slowly exhaling. Again. One more big deep breath. Good. One leg up in tabletop, other one bent. Rib cage tucked in, belly button into spine, so there's no curves in the lower back. Your bent knees coming away from the body and in as the other one standing straight. Keeping that core connection, pushing the abs into the floor as hard as you can so it's all braced. Have a poke around, make sure it's all switched on. Bit more of a hip opener here as well. Looking for 10, another 3, 2. Keeping stable. It's the job of the core. Swapping over to the other side. Yeah, so the job of the core is as you're bringing your arms and legs away from the body, you remain stable. So we're just reinforcing that. 4, 3. One more. Good. Into Hip kicks, bring them hips off the floor again for another 10. And you finished your last one. We're coming for a deep breath, inhale. One more. Good. Knees bent, arms out to the side for a small rock, lifting your hip ever so slightly off the floor. Core's engaged. It's like a little massage for the back, but also a little twisty stretch as your core is engaged. Looking for 15. Good, and then we're going to come all the way down into window wipers, feeling the stretch. Take your time, looking for 15 again. We're practicing this movement to help improve the spinal stretch, warming up as you move in this motion. Notice any clicks, any tightness. Five more. Last one. Good. And you finish your last one. Inhale, arms rise. Good. Legs straight up into the air. You're trying to touch your toes or as close as you can for 12 reps. Strengthening the neck as well. Make sure you're leading with your chest more than your head though. 3 left. 2. Keeping your hips on the floor. Good, well done. Inhale. One more deep breath. Pilates crisscross next, or bicycle crunch. Opposite knee to opposite elbow, bringing that hip and that shoulder off the floor for a good twist. Looking for 20, pushing the spine into the mat, keep imprinting. Five, 4, 2, 1. Release, deep breath in. Let's check on core strength here. So legs and arms straight out. You're going to come up, use the momentum of your arms to touch your left leg, coming all the way down again to touch your right leg, looking left and right. Or you can use your elbow to get up, but as long as you're coming down as slow as you can by yourself, you're strengthening up. Opposite arm to opposite foot. Looking left and right. Uses a full, all 6 ab muscles. Another 5. These are tough, so feel free to use your elbow. Try and come down with control to improve. Burn it. Oh. Well done. When you finish your last rep, inhale, arms rise. One more big deep breath. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink. I'm going to move on to our sides of the stomach. So we're going to have one knee bent, the bottom knee bent, and the top knee straight, leg even. Hips up. We're going to hold this position for up to 20 seconds, then we're going to bring in a little pulse, but keep it up as high as you can, feeling the tension in your core. Starting now. Deep breaths. So making sure your elbows directly under your shoulder. This is a shoulder exercise as well. 7, 5. You've got the option to release or bring in a little pulse for 10. Up, up. 5, 4, 2, and release. Let's stretch off the hip on that side. Bottom knee forward, top knee back. Exhale, pushing your hip into the floor and knees into the floor. Pushing over as far as you can. And you can relax your neck onto that shoulder for a neck stretch. Gentle one. Good. Same side. Same again. I'm going to hold 20 seconds. You can come in and out as much as you need to. Deep breaths. 9, 5, 4. Release or pulse for 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, bottom knee forward, top knee back. See if we can get over a little bit further this time. Arms should be over your head ideally. So keep pushing it back. And the knees and hip into the floor. You'll only increase flexibility if you keep trying to push over. Excellent. Well done. Let's go over to the other side. See how this side feels. Elbow directly under shoulder. One leg straight, one leg bent underneath. Keeping up for 20 seconds. Chest proud. 10, 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pulse. 1, 2. 9, 10, and release. Into the stretch, pushing your knee down. Using your knees to push you away. Good. Final round for beginning a cool down and stretch work. Hold in for 20 seconds. Try and stay with it as much as you can. 8, 7, 4, 1, and pulse. 10, 9, 5, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Final stretch, nice and warm now. Good opportunity for flexibility, pushing the arm over your head, neck relaxed, knees down, hip down, both of them. Excellent. Whew. Let's do some stretching. Well done. And some of that was quite advanced, so well done for giving it a go. You only get to advanced by trying. Into spinal twist, so shifting your hips over to the right, knees over to the left, and settle in. See how this feels. Now you're fully warmed up. If you want to extend that top leg, your shoulders must be down on the floor. And ideally your foot will be touching the other side. And you can hold on to the back of your leg. Notice where you're feeling this stretch. Is it your glute? Is it your inner thigh? Is it your lower back, hip, rib area? If it's in your rib area, it's an indication that you're quite tight. It should be in the lower. Every inhale, pushing your belly out, and slow exhale sinks you further into the stretch, releasing tension. Fogging that glass on the exhale with your breath. One more big deep breath in. Such a great stretch. Swap over sides, bending both knees, using the weight of them. Shifting your hips over to the left, knees over to the right. Settle in with bent legs, shoulders down on the mat. If that feels okay, go ahead and straighten that leg out. Do you feel this side in the same places, or is it higher up? Exhale, big breaths, trying to let go of the tension. The muscles that are tensed up, letting go with the exhale. Two more big deep breaths. Good. Bending both knees. Into semi-supine position, just to standardize and reset. Notice how your body feels. Bring both feet together, knees out for the final hip opener, inner groin stretch. Trying to relax. You can place your fists underneath your legs, so it's not as intense. It's more important that you switch off and relax in these positions. Good, and you can hold on to your feet, coming into a bit of a happy baby. Rocking side to side if that feels good. You feel that little massage in the back above the hips. You can hold the arches of your feet in the middle, moving left and right, bringing them away and together. Good. I'm going to take time Just come up into a seated position. Some pranayama, relaxation breath work to reset and relax the nervous systems. And practice some pranayama. So deep breath, inhale through the nose, sitting tall, shoulders down, chest proud. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. So it's nice and warming. Practicing some mindfulness. Every inhale, pushing your belly out, expanding your rib cage to make room for the oxygen that you're inhaling. Pause for 2. Exhale for 4. Pause for 2. Inhale for 4. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause 1, 2. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause 1, 2. Notice how that breath feels nice and cool on the inhale. Every time your mind wanders to anything else, just bring it back to how your breath feels, how your body now feels. Hopefully nice and stretched and warm. Being grateful for every breath and heartbeat it's a gift. The breath is the anchor of the mind. It's the one thing you can always control. Even something as simple as opening an email can change the way you breathe and can send you in a stress response with your nervous system. So whenever you feel stressed, always be conscious of your breath. Slower exhale than you are inhaling. Pause with them full lungs. Make sure you're using your belly and your rib cage and then both expand to bring in that oxygen. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause 1, 2, 3. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause 1, 2. Well done taking care of your body this week. You can't expect it to perform for you and do your daily tasks without stretching it and nourishing it. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming this week. I hope you sleep well.